Hello, and welcome to the Authentically Elisa podcast, Unmasking Your True Self. I'm Elisa Bogarts, your guide on this journey to discovering the most genuine version of yourself. Each episode is a step towards unveiling the incredible power that lies within you as we strip away all the shoulds and shine a light on the coulds. Together, we'll explore the path of self-empowerment, self-confidence, and the courage to be unapologetically you. Thank you for being here. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about authentic marketing, and I have an amazing guest with me. His name is Rich Kozak. And Rich, tell us a bit about yourself and kind of how you got into this field of work, and just why you're so passionate about it.
Well, you and I have a lot in common. This podcast focuses on being in integrity in business, and it's really important what we do here. And it's about authentic marketing. So my career path has been everything has been a part of marketing. Everything from creating companies when I was very young to being in a Fortune 50 company, going through industrial sales and product management and factory marketing and engineered products, and then working for a research firm, and then working for a large global ad agency with partners in 21 countries, teaching big companies the steps of branding. So it's all marketing. It's all marketing. And I even served some time on the American Marketing Association as an elected VP of business marketing on the AMA International's board of directors. So what you do and what you talk about, and my background are a nice sync. So today at the company I created, Rich Brands, we work only with individuals, evolving how their brands are perceived. And that sounds like double talk to me because the brand is a perception. That's what it is. It's not a picture or what you think it is. It's the way it's perceived. So evolving the way brands are perceived so that they don't bounce off when they're trying to make their highest level impacts. People need to perceive that an individual, if you're listening to this, that you are the one. If they don't perceive that you're the one because they still think of you the way they met you 20 years ago or whatever it is, you might bounce off and then they lose, you lose, the world loses. Like, not good. So there are many, like millions of, in some cases, deeply experienced entrepreneurs, experts, coaches, authors who have so much more to give. And they'll say that, oh, I know I'm not done. There's more. But they don't know how to position themselves to make those highest level impacts. In some cases, to get paid what they're worth. In some cases, to shift their focus because they are who they are. And so they hear me speak and they go, oh my God, I think I'm supposed to work with you. so because we literally listen to the impacts they want to make, write them down, and we end up defining and languaging the brand they must become to make those impacts, because they have to get credit for certain characteristics. They have to get credit for certain expertises. They have to get credit for certain heart characteristics.
Right.
But it's all congruent with them. And so let's talk about integrity. When you create a brand, somebody else creates a brand for you and they say, oh, Elisa, you know what? You are the silver-tongued mistress of the whatever, yep, next. And you have to be that. That's creepy. And it's not an integrity to you. But what if you start with the impacts you clearly see having on specific types of people, and you bake that into the way your brand speaks, shows up, is testimonials, endorsements, the language of the brand, everything, even the look, it's all congruent with you. That is, and I'll say, branding done right, and that might be a commercial, sorry, but it's an integrity. It's an integrity because it's congruent with your heart. And that's what I get to do. And frankly, I used to think it was my skill. there came a time, I'd done it for about 3 years because I left the agency and then somebody asked me to help them and I started helping individuals. There came a moment in time when I was coaching someone and things were coming out of my mouth and I felt like they were coming through me instead of from me.
Mhm.
That's a very interesting feeling, and it feels like that every day now. But that it took about 3.5 years, and I literally raised my hand to my mouth because I kind of wear my emotions on my sleeve a little bit, and I'm like, oh my God, did I say that? It's my gift, and we all have gifts. We all have gifts that came with us that got built through our journey and we all have the same opportunity to make the most significant impact with the gifts we've been given. So that's how I turned into the guy that speaks about his faith and asks God for his will and what he wants me to do with this, and literally makes myself available to people to talk about what they envision and the impacts they see making. I don't even think it's my work. I think it's God's work. And frankly, I do it a lot. I mean, I'd spend a lot of hours and it doesn't feel like work, Elisa. It feels like love.
Amazing.
Is that
Oh,
crazy? It feels like love. So,
that's awesome. I love that. And it's so funny how you were, as you were talking about the brand and the impact that you want to make. For me, it somehow evolved itself. Like when I first started my business, I was actually more of a life coach, helping people build with confidence. And my favorite color is green. And so I was like, okay, I want my branding to be green because I like green. So I went with like a pale green and went with like a gray. And then the logo I had, I wanted to like marked after a tattoo that I have. And like, oh, and it's just kind of like, it just sort of happened. But actually, and even my background that I have here, I just think it looks nice. And these are things that I have and I bought. But really, actually, um, everybody tells me that everything that I have is actually very quite calming. And when the people that I work with are often not calm, like they are like in a bit of chaos or they're whatever, and they need someone to like, and people tell me how grounding I am and all these things. And it's just so interesting that my branding reflects that without me ever thinking that. Like that wasn't necessary. If someone had asked me, maybe that would be the impact. And I don't know if it would have been the impact when I first started, but now it's very much part of my brand and what I do, where people bring me in when there's a launch and it's craziness and there's a gazillion things to do. And I come in and I ground people and I like organize it and we get it done bit by bit. And I become that kind of calming for them, especially if they're freaking out and they have a meeting. And I'm like, it's okay, it's calm down. But everything that my brand has is very calming. And so it's just kind of interesting how it sort of evolved into exactly what I need to be for my clients, which is bizarre.
that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I lift you up, and I agree. The way you show up here, what you use as a backdrop, even the Buddha, it reflects that. So good for you.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. It's just kind of interesting how that sort of, but maybe, yeah, it was intuition or something that kind of made it happen that way. Um, but yeah, I love that. I love that you start with the impact that people want to make and build the brand from that, which will then give them very authentic marketing, right?
And the green element is off. Green is often used for naturalness. It
Mm,
is calming, just like blue, but green is used for naturalness too. So it's congruent with the integrity part.
right. Yes. Yes. Very good point. Yeah. Yeah.
Green.
Um, yeah, let's dive into authentic marketing. Tell me a bit about that and how people can really bring their authenticity to their marketing and come across that way.
When I talk a lot, and you see above me it says impact driven. That's the name of our publishing company, Impact Driven Publishing, and then Rich Brands is the coaching group. So when someone, it depends how someone starts and defines their business. If we take two, identical people, and one of them focuses on the money. Well, if you do this, we have this much money and this money, oh, we had this money, this will make $1 million. And the other one focuses on the impacts. Is this great possibility that the one that focuses on the impacts might get to the money faster.
Mm.
And by focusing on the impacts, it's not something, it's not like, hey, head, you can't ask your head these things. You have to ask your heart. Hey, heart, what are the impacts I clearly see making when I'm really successful at this? So when you think about it, when you close your eyes and you think about it, that calming to be the voice of reason and the voice of process focus and the voice of we'll get this and this too shall pass, whatever it is. When you think about the impacts, or that they find a process, or that they automate, or that they can replicate, or that they can team build, whatever it is, everybody's different. I have clients who are in software, and clients who are DEI, clients that are financial advisors, clients that are manufacturers. Everybody's different, but the process is the same. So if you want authenticity to a person, the place to start is the heart. And it's what they see that they clearly see doing with impacts for somebody else's life. It could be a company with the impact they see on a company, or an industry. When we do the work, we always use an individual, because you start with individuals and then you do 1,000 individuals, and now you've created a legacy among those types of individuals. So, but it starts with the heart, and that keeps it. In the end, everything a brand says and does is congruent with the heart of the champion. When you ensure that by using the steps, that congruence with the heart of the champion, first of all, it's in integrity. It's congruent, right? So it's also one of the 4 things a brand must have, or it will fall flat.
Mm.
There are 4 things that a brand must have, and people don't teach this because they don't know. You just hear branding because everybody's selling you marketing. Oh, it's good for your branding, but people don't teach it. And so there's 4 things, and one of them, number 1, is congruence with the heart of the champion. Number 2 is consistency across the board. If you show up pink tomorrow and then wear a turban on Friday, I'm afraid people won't know what to expect from you. Right. And it will damage trust. When lack of consistency damages trust, consistency across the board creates it.
Right.
People know what to expect. Okay. Third is a unique language that transfers energy. It's 2 things. It's unique language, but it has to transfer energy. If you said to me, oh, Rich, I see on your business card, your digital business card, whatever, you are a branding consultant. So what do you do, actually? And if I said to you something that would put you to sleep, like, well, I managed the 31 iterative steps of the branding continuum, you'd be going like,
Who's what now?
yeah, right.
Like, please don't go into all 32.
We do right, number 1. But if I said, well, we do a lot of things, but people say we put rocket fuel in their branding gas tank. It's just words. But the example, and I make it extreme like that because words have power. Unique language that transfers energy. So we have a client who came to me and said, look, I do a lot of things in the holistic health field. And he didn't even say holistic. He says in the alternative health space. So mushrooms that help solve cancer, stem cells that give your blood more stem cells so that when something happens, you can heal quicker, you can rejuvenate, it manages aging. All these things, the brain science from Daniel, all these things, right? And he said, what's my brand? It's confusing if you try to do that. Well, I did, but Tuesdays, it's like, yeah. Now, his umbrella brand is mindful longevity, holistic health mentoring that empowers lives. I think I need that. I want holistic health mentoring. I want that. So when you create language that transfers energy, and it might transfer energy for two reasons. You know, the rocket fuel one has this, you know, great, like, I want my brand to be rocket. Yeah, yeah. But the holistic health management transfer, it's an intangible brand promise. I want to empower my life. Holistic sounds good. And
Yeah.
I don't think doctors know everything. You know, and so for him, for people who have started to say they're willing to take their health a little bit more in their own hands, maybe change the way they eat, you know, not necessarily just, you know, always ask for a antibiotic. Don't do
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Stop the antibiotic.
Give me a pill. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. You know, they're ready to hear that.
Mm.
And now he has an umbrella brand. So when he says, well, we were working with a client the other day who has stage 4 cancer, and we've seen some efficacious results from this particular set of medicinal mushrooms. And he said he was willing to try it and he could afford it. So we were 4 weeks later, the doctor reported he had no idea why. You know, he went like, wow.
Incredible.
And
Yeah.
then with another client, you know, with stem cells, and we gave, you know, the nutraceuticals, and people go, like, wait a minute, I thought you did mushroom, but you do stem cells. They just go, oh yeah, that fits. So whether it's, in his case, you know, holistic health, or integrating software so that a manufacturer is a intelligent enterprise and there's no silos of information. You know, it's like I ran new business at an ad agency for, you know, 20 years. So it's like industry language is different every time. And an adult ADHD guy loves the fact that every time he picks up the phone, it's a different language. Like, wah! Okay, more chocolate, more caffeine. Okay, perfect job. But yeah, adapt well to different languages. This process is the same, and marketing is marketing. Media changes. You know, we used to have all kinds of in you know, magazines in all kinds of fields. Now it's a lot digital. It's like, but it doesn't change marketing. It doesn't change the process. It doesn't change the steps. Branding is the same, but people don't see it that way because nobody taught them.
Yeah.
They sell them. So you and I have a lot in common, and we want the same thing. We want our clients to be effective in the way they present and the results they get. And I do it by making sure, and we want them to be in integrity.
Yeah.
I do it by helping define and language the brand in the very beginning, or they say, this is where we are, like, but we want to do, what do? We start the process, and within sometimes as little as 3 months, 8 weeks, it's all done. Like all the languaging and all titles and subtitles of content for the next 5 years. Multiple columns of how we say our categories of expertise uniquely with unique language that transfers energy. It's like, where do you buy that? You know, who does it? I haven't found anybody else who does it. But it's aligning to the individual. So it gives individuals access to their own authenticity. What? Yeah. It's like, access to do I need access to my own? Well, some people do, because it's not working for them until it is, you know. So that's starting with the heart and the impacts. And it's for impact driven people. Like, those are the people I want to work with. When somebody says, I have a new product, I have a new service, it's going to make $1 million. Okay. Fast forward, you made $1 million. And then what? What do you mean? It's going to make $1 million. Not my client.
Yeah. Yeah.
Been there. No, don't want that. Does that help? But
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you.
But what you stand for, and what your podcast helps people with, and what you help people with, you and I are absolutely in parallel. And the integrity piece, authenticity piece, is huge. I hope that helps answer your question. I truly believe that's always the best place to start. Start from your heart. Even when somebody asks you a question, if you try to respond from your head, chances are you're going to get in trouble. At least if you respond from your heart, you've been honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for this. This has been awesome. Yeah, very, very interesting conversation. I really enjoyed it. It was, yes, thank you so much. I love your perspectives. So where can our listeners find you online?
Well, easy. Our website is richbrands, RICHBRANDS.org. It's an ORG. If you do com, you'll end up in Nigeria with a trading company. Richbrands.org. And right at the top, it says talk to Rich for 30 minutes. So if you think you have things, if you could find somebody with 49 years of deep experience across industries that knows every aspect of marketing and how it turns into brand and shapes identity and how you do things right and how you do things wrong and all the mistakes that you're going to make if somebody doesn't say, like, stop that, you can talk to me for 30 minutes for free. I don't charge for it. So it's like, you figure it out. It's either a good deal or you're not ready, and that's okay. But if you don't want to talk to me one-on-one, don't get on my calendar, but do hop on one of our 60-minute masterclasses. They're free.
Nice.
The one that's easy is Brand First, FIRST, or Die. brandfirstorDie.com, and you can sign up for free. It'll tell you the next date.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And,
thank you so much for that.
If you want to get real personal, I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me, but send me an email at rich@richbrands.org.
Hey,
I mean, seriously, as long as I'm here and I'm on Zoom, take advantage of it. Absolutely. And I believe it'll be a blessing to your business and maybe to your life.
And to finish us off, do you have any final words of wisdom besides connecting with you?
I do. And I'm going to point my finger, which looks a little awkward, but I'm going to look you right in the eye. I'm going to talk to your heart. If you're not watching this on video, I'm going to talk right to your heart. And I'm going to say, now is the time to define the brand you will become. This is Rich Kozak.
Thank you so much, Rick. It's been amazing having you on the show.
Thank you for having me, Elisa. It's a blessing.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope it inspired you to live a more authentic life. I'd love your help in inspiring more people to live authentically. So please follow, rate, and leave a review so we can create a ripple effect of authenticity. Until next time, stay true to you, be bold, and thrive on your own terms. This is Elisa, signing off authentically.